Have you ever poured your entire heart and soul into someone only to have them vanish without a trace? This is a story about that kind of heartbreak, but more importantly, it's about the incredible strength that can rise from the ashes of betrayal. Her name was Leah, and his was Daniel. For 3 years they were inseparable. They weren't just a couple. They were partners, best friends, and future planners. Every laugh, every whispered secret, every shared dream was a brick in the foundation of the life they were building together. 3 years of unwavering love and trust. And then, one day, silence, he was just gone. The calls went unanswered. The texts were left unread. The digital world they had built, once buzzing with affection, became a desolate wasteland. Leah was shattered. The silence was deafening, a constant, screaming question mark in her life. Why? What did I do wrong? Was any of it real? These questions haunted her every waking moment and crept into her dreams. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Leah's life became a loop of desperate attempts to connect and painful replays of their happiest memories. Each memory, once a source of joy, was now tainted with confusion and sorrow. She searched his old social media pages, asked mutual friends who suddenly became distant, and drove past his old apartment, hoping for a sign, any sign, that would explain the inexplicable. The ghost of him was everywhere, a constant reminder of what she had lost. Her world had shrunk, its vibrant colors washed out into shades of gray. She felt herself fading, a shadow of the woman she used to be. Then, just as she was beginning to accept the gaping hole he had left, he reappeared. As suddenly as he had vanished, Daniel was standing right in front of her, but it wasn't the Daniel she knew. He looked different, older, maybe, and there was a woman beside him, a small child holding his hand. A gold band glinted on his finger, married, a family. The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place with a sickening finality. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. Leah could barely breathe. She stared at the man who was once her everything, now a stranger with a life she never knew existed. How could you? The words were a fragile whisper, barely escaping her lips. He couldn't meet her eyes. I didn't know how to tell you. I'm sorry, he mumbled an apology, a flimsy, pathetic shield for a betrayal so profound it had ripped her life apart. But in that moment, something shifted inside Leah. Looking at him, hearing his weak excuse, the fog of heartbreak began to clear. It wasn't about the apology anymore. It was about the truth. She had spent 3 years, over 1,000 days, dedicating her love, her energy, and her dreams to a man who was living a lie. A man who was not brave enough to be honest, not decent enough to give her the closure she deserved. A profound realization washed over her. She didn't need to hate him. Hate was an anchor, and she was done drowning. She didn't need to cry for him anymore. Her tears were too precious to be wasted on his memory. What she needed was to let go, to release the weight of his betrayal and choose herself. That day marked a turning point. Leah made a conscious decision to reclaim her life. She stopped looking backward and started building forward. She poured all the love and energy she had once given him into herself. She rediscovered her passions, advanced in her career, and reconnected with friends who had patiently waited for her to resurface. She traveled, she learned, she laughed, truly laughed for the first time in a long time. Slowly but surely, she healed. The scars were there, a reminder not of the pain, but of her resilience. She learned that her worth was never tied to someone else's inability to see it. And eventually, when she least expected it, love found her again. This time, it was different. It was a love that was honest, patient, and built on mutual respect. A love with someone who cherished her, all of her, including the journey that had made her so strong. Leah's story isn't just about surviving heartbreak. It's about transformation. It is about the power we all have within us to turn our deepest wounds into our greatest strengths. She became stronger, wiser, and completely, unshakably herself. If you've ever felt lost in the dark after a betrayal, remember, Leah, your story is not over. The most powerful chapter is the one you write for yourself. After you've closed the book on those who didn't deserve to be in it, you are resilient and your best days are ahead. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more content on healing and empowerment. You are not alone.